to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. City Council meeting Tuesday, July 8th, 7 p.m. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, has everybody had a chance to read the minutes?
Yes.
I have a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for June 10th, 2025.
Has been moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and second. All in favor? Motion passes. Okay, on to the bills.
I just a clarification and
Sorry for the 3 emails.
no. So refresh my memory, the city of Moscow, rural MSW of 3,000.
So MSW is municipal solid waste. So what happens is when we dump the garbage, so we pay the tipping fees at Moscow to Moscow for inland north waste. So when the garbage gets picked up by Sunshine, we have to pay that rate
So
once
it's
a year.
once a year.
Yeah.
So in addition
I think it's
to
once a year.
Sunshine was a
Yeah.
separate. Okay.
Yeah, because we pay the county who pays Sunshine, and then we pay the tipping fees because Moscow owns the rights to the landfill. So Moscow gets paid the tipping fees for the landfill,
Okay.
right?
That's what I was gonna say.
That's fine.
Any other?
Is all my other question?
Okay, do we have a motion?
I motion to accept the payables
Do I
for
have a
June
second?
2025.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor? Motion passes. Go ahead, Amanda. Okay, so like I said at the last meeting, we're gonna do the approval of the appointment of Mr. Clone. I chose Mr. Clone. He had been on the council before. He's a very respected member of the community. He provides a lot of good knowledge with his background in law enforcement. So that's why I chose him to join our council. Do I have?
I just want to say thank you for answering the call of
Yes.
duty again. And I think the mayor, the way you did it was very well done. It's tragic people didn't see it because the way you explained the process, it was really good. So I motion to accept the mayor's nomination of Jeff Clone for the city council position.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Motion passes. Welcome to the team.
Congratulations.
Okay, if you want to, Justin, do you want to get some pictures so we can put it on Facebook tomorrow? Yep, and Cheyenne will swear you in.
Sorry.
Down.
Yep.
You, front and center.
What I love.
I don't know if you're careful and get that, but.
That's the problem. That's the
Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Idaho, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of counselor of the city of Juliaetta according to the best of your ability?
I will.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Thurston, you're up. Oh, these have to go down with the rest of them.
Oh, thank you.
Here's the paperclip.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. Thank you for your service. I don't know everybody, but I live at 211 Main Street. I come before you now to bring your attention to the building next to me at 209 Main Street, the one-story red building next to the library. The building has been in disrepair for many years. The last tenant said there is a water leak under the building and that the water has been shut off at the meter. There are numerous cracks on the side of the building facing City Hall, running from top to bottom. The gutter system is mostly missing. The front of the building on Main Street is an eyesore with its busted windowsills, busted door, plaster, etc. The yard is a fire hazard with rolls of carpeting, wooden debris, a fence mostly on the ground, a dilapidated outbuilding, overgrown trees, high weeds, grass, along with piles of who knows what. I believe this is being addressed currently by the city, or so I thought. I spoke with Cheyenne today, so I guess that's a separate issue there. The building inside is uninhabitable, and I'm being very conservative in my description. I sent the owner a letter over a year ago concerning our common wooden fence, which I likened to a fuse leading to my porch, and received no response. Black's Law Dictionary defines abandon as, quote, leaving a thing by completely rejecting one's responsibilities, unquote. And to quote, to desert, forsake, give up, unquote. The only unknown element is the owner's intent. I spoke with Brad Fraser at the Latah County Planning and Building and Zoning Department, and he stated this was not within his jurisdiction but he would happily provide guidance on red tagging the building and having it condemned, as the city of Kendrick has done with the building. In ending, I'd like to know if Julietta City Code, which I just got a copy of some of it today, what regulation has provision to deal with this blight on Main Street and its concomitant effect on the values of surrounding properties in the city. So when I was looking at the city code here, most of the things from what Cheyenne copied for me, it falls, the yard falls under a public nuisance under A, E, and I. A being accumulation of trash, junk, waste, or manure on public or private property which is not in a proper garbage receptacle. E being any accumulation of material or circumstance which may be a fire hazard. And the yard is definitely a fire hazard. There's a outbuilding back there, there's overgrown trees, there's years of debris on top of the roof back there. That's why I say it's like a fuse leading up to my porch. And then I is all noxious weeds and unmaintained grass. Grass must be kept at 6 inches or less in height. So, thank you for listening.
So we have the building inspector, they're actually contracted by us. The one you talked to didn't realize that they're under contract with us. We have done some research. Justin talked to them today. The city, we can't actually condemn the building the way I understood it, but they would be willing to come down, but it comes at a cost. And so we would want to consult with our attorney. I guess, are you asking for us to condemn the building, or are you just?
No, I'm asking for it to be just sort of cleaned up and for the owner to take some responsibility and make it so it's not a blight on Main Street. I'm thinking all the cities must be concerned with their Main Street, and we got parades and this and that going through, and we've got new businesses and stuff, and surely we want to keep the front of the buildings, at least what they can see. Now I look out on my back porch and I see all that other debris, and I've cleared it away from my fence because I was doing some work on the fence, but I don't necessarily want to condemn. I just like to see if there's a provision where the owner would come down and take care of his property, show some interest in it.
If I may, Michael, I appreciate you bringing this to the city, and the fire danger is what really sticks out to me. I mean, the other part of it as well, because, and you have every right to defend and stand up for your neighborhood. Everyone should. But the fire danger is what I'm really concerned about. Can you elaborate on that, on like what can be done to alleviate at least the fire danger right away as we look through this process of what we can do?
What could be done to alleviate the fire hazard?
Yeah.
You got rolls of carpeting back there, you got pallets, there's a common fence between that and the trailer that's halfway busted down, laying on the ground. I would say clean up the wood, clean up the old stuff on top of the outbuilding back there. Take care of the high grass and the weeds, stuff like that. And it looks like from reading the ordinances that the city has, they have an option to go back there and clean it up themselves and then charge the owner.
Justin,
doesn't care about it.
No. Jeff, do you have something?
From being in charge of code enforcement in a different city, normally, even though, so there's probably a right on going in there, normally you cannot just enter somebody's private property. Even if the city wants to, sometimes there's fire provisions, like if they need to do it, but my recommendation or thought would be to talk to council, because normally we need some kind of a judge's order to enter somebody's private property. I mean, that's a favorite thing, especially in Idaho. And then say, because we've had to do that in Lewiston, it says, you send a certified letter to the owner, which is, I think it's like $9 now, but I
Right.
mean, it's like, you send them a certified letter to their last known address, any lien holders, anything like that. Then if we decide we want to take care of it, I agree, nobody wants town looking like, I got a place not far from mine that I can argue all the exact same stuff. And then just say, but I think if we get the legal advice, get a judge order, and then usually it comes down to the city spending the money to clean it. And then trying to recoup that from the owner, which
Right,
can always be,
Right.
not always a winning proposition, but if it's worth it to the city to say, hey, like I say, especially being a fire hazard and looking terrible. And a lot of other issues, I agree. I think we probably need to look into that, because I think it'd be worth, not only looking into it, that might help us make decisions on other properties in the city to, we'd at least know the legal route and probably the cost. 'Cause I know, in the past, we've had to kind of like, okay, if we know we're gonna have this and maybe some other, then we budget for it the next year, saying, or, looking at finding or getting the money back from that owner and then using that to finance other properties, kind of paying it forward, so.
well, I think,
Yeah,
I think we should definitely send a letter and then let's talk to Todd about what Jeff had brought up. But let's definitely send them a letter, because I believe you got pictures, correct, Justin?
I have pictures.
Yeah, so Justin has pictures if anybody on council wants to see them. But definitely send him a letter and then let's get with Todd and talk about what Jeff had talked about and see
Okay.
what the city's, because we might have to do an ordinance or something like that in the future if this is the route that we're gonna take. So we just want to find out all of our legal options.
Sure. Okay, well, thank you very much.
thank you,
Thank you.
Michael.
Thanks, Michael.
Okay.
Maybe you want me to send that letter without consulting Tom?
Just give Todd a quick saying, hey, we're gonna send a letter to this address, and then Justin can provide the pictures so that Todd can see them.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna let Cheyenne talk about the Cassell Community Connect portal and what it will do for our citizens and our city as well, operating more efficiently. I did watch most of the 55-minute video. It's
It
very,
was a long one.
very long one. If anybody would like to see it, if you got an hour to kill.
Yeah, I can forward it to you.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things that I learned about at training is, so currently we use Payport, through Tyler Technologies for people to pay online. And I don't find it particularly user friendly. And it's one of those systems where every time you go onto it, you have to enter all of your information. There's no option to like create an account and have information like your card information or, address or things like that saved. So Cassell was telling me that they offer a similar program through them. So the perk of that would be any payments made online would automatically update within our system. So it would eliminate any type of manual entry, like what I currently have to do with Payport. The other pros of it that I saw was it allows customers to create an account and also link a bank account, or you can add a debit card. It's super similar to any type, if anyone's used auto pay or anything, like paying your Vista bill or something, super similar to that. So you can literally just sign in and hit pay, or another feature is you can set up auto pay, which I think is really nice. I know I've had a few residents call and ask if that's an option, and it's currently not one through the Payport system we use. And then a couple other things is a copy of the utility bill can be accessed by residents by logging into this account. So not only can they see, of course, an identical copy of what we send out, but they can also look at their current usage. So a lot of what I can see on my end, it would allow residents to be able to see that in real time as well.
So how much water they've used over
Yep.
the past little bit.
Yep, and it'll show rates too, if people are curious, oh, what am I paying for my garbage can? It'll have all of that information on there. And then another cool feature too is that you can enroll in paperless billing,
Yeah.
which is really nice for people trying to go a little bit more green.
It'll save us some money on postcards
Yeah, absolutely.
and stamps, yeah.
Yeah, so those were kind of the main major points that were really nice with this Cassell option. So I reached out to the person who would set all of that up just to get a quote. And I heard back, so there's a $1,200 one-time fee for them to get everything set up. And then from there, it would be $175 per month. And this is with residents paying the convenience fee, so the city doesn't absorb it. However, that is an option as well. I do know that some cities opt to absorb that fee just to, as a nice gesture for people who want to pay online. But that's not currently how we do it. With Payport, the customer absorbs that fee.
Do you know how much the fee is?
3.5,
Percentage?
3 or 3.5, one of those two.
Mm-hmm.
That's with Payport.
Yeah,
So with this, 175 a month, the citizens still pay the 3.5 or we pay it?
Yes.
Okay.
So is there any cost for canceling the current paperwork?
that's what I'm not sure on. So I was trying to track down a contract that because I'm assuming there's a contract that we have with Payport. It looks like we've been using it since 2017. I can't find anything, so I'll have to reach out to our Payport rep, who I spoke with a couple months ago. So I have an email for him, and I can find out if there would be a cancellation fee and what that would look like.
And we don't pay them anything per month, right?
I don't believe so. I checked with Justin. He didn't think so either, because it sounds like Payport keeps the service fee that customers pay. So that 3 or 3.5% each transaction.
Question, so with the people looking up their usage and so forth, is that kind of like, cause I know with Vista you can do that. So they would each have their own account?
Yes,
Okay.
yep. So you would set up your own account
Okay.
linked to your service address. And there's a lot more, to be honest. I mean, it was an hour-long demo video of
It does a lot of
things
stuff.
you can do.
Yeah.
And it's we don't necessarily use all the programs that Cassell offers. Like they offer managing like business licenses, for example, or like dog licenses, which we don't currently pay for. But for cities who do, all of that is also built into this program. So people can pay other fees as well, which isn't as applicable to us, but it's a pretty cool system.
Well, I know at one time we had talked to Todd about looking into the business license thing just to see, so we kind of knew what businesses were operating in our town, and there was some other discussion about it. But I know that he's been super busy with our last litigation cases that we haven't got any more on if we were gonna pursue that or not. So something else to consider.
So what's the 3.5% for again? And people are currently paying that. And that is for,
So that's usually
Credit card?
charged for the credit card.
Credit
That's the
card?
credit card processing fee.
or debit card?
Mhm.
Okay.
But if they did like a bank account, would that still apply? Do we know?
I don't know.
debit.
Usually it's a lesser fee though. I know, for example, when I pay my SOTN bill, I think it's a 2% fee if I link a bank account versus like a 3.5% if I use a debit or credit card.
Think if it's
But
like
I
an
would have
auto
to
withdrawal,
check
there's
that.
no fee, cause it's like a check.
Oh.
Because if you set up like
If
an
you do like
ACH.
yeah.
So have we seen an increase in people using like their cards and stuff and doing it more digitally? Do you
I'm
know?
pretty new, so
Does anyone know?
I don't know. It looks like, I would say currently we probably have about 30 people a month
Okay.
use Payport. I think that number would increase if people gave the Cassell program a chance because it really can automate a lot of things for people. 'Cause I don't even like using Payport. I just write a check.
It's my one check that I write.
Yeah,
Everything else.
the Payport
is
system is-
auto-pay.
Yeah, and every
Jeff
time
has
you
his
log
own.
in, you have to enter all your info and.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a city that uses Tyler currently, and I can't stand it. It seems like there's always maintenance or it's always, I don't know if we've experienced that here, but it seems like there's always, it's running slow, or you gotta do some update, or everybody's gotta log out and everything. So I don't know if that would change things, but I know like, I'm like you, I write one check a month, but I was proud to bring it down, because just I don't wanna pay 3%.
We're neighbors,
And it's
so.
like, yeah, I was just like, I gotta drive by City Hall every day, so I just drive out, but like at 3%, that's what I'm thinking, if there's a way to, maybe it's worth doing, even if it's less than that, Marcus does. I think more people would be, that's the reason I don't do it, it's like, man, trying to make it easier, then you want to charge me for
Right.
it. It's
Yeah.
like, you
Right.
know,
It's not
and I
user
don't know what I
friendly
pay for a
by any
check, but I buy those checks,
Yeah.
I don't look at
Yeah.
checks once every 2 years and when they run out, I order another one, right? But I don't know, it seems like, I just know from my own experience, Tyler is not customer or user friendly from what I've seen.
The one thing that I thought was interesting about it with it being Excel is it goes along with the cash receipting and kind of does less room for human error. I mean, not that, but everybody's human, everybody errs. So that was that was one of the things that I liked about it. But yeah, I would be curious to know if there was like if you set up the account with auto pay kind of thing. But I don't know, what is it?
It seems to me like, way before Cheyenne was here, we've been leading this way. And we never quite had an option to go this with it. I kind of lean towards the fee though. That might be an issue. I wonder if we could see what that would cost us and just the city cover that possibly.
Oh, look at the city absorbing that
Yeah,
fee.
possibly. I think so, just because either we want people to go in on this or we don't.
Right, right. Well, and if we get enough people using it, I mean, we
It
just,
would, like, say, it probably, sorry to interrupt, like, but the cost savings of mailing, I mean, it's.
yeah,
funny
it
when
would
I give
offset itself.
My bill and it says I had to go to Spokane to get here, right?
Right,
Because I know I
right.
can't just run a thing, and it's like, I'll bet. I
Yeah,
don't know what the cost is, but it seems like that would be.
well, yeah, cost
might
of
be a lot.
postcards, cost of stamps, cost
Yeah,
of
time, I mean,
Cheyenne's
it's-
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
I think it's a good idea.
I think we were doing postcards the other day, I helped, and it took me almost 2 hours to.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Just the time,
yeah, just the time. Yeah.
The time on the going out and then the time coming in, people
Yeah.
paying it, it's gonna save you time, and it's $1,200 is cheaper than another person.
Right. And if we get a lot of citizens using that, we can look at the absorbing the cost
Yeah.
and with the cost savings.
So I'm for it.
Do I have a motion?
I motion that we do the Cassell thing, Connect Portal.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Motion passes. Okay. Well, I think, so did we ever get any more information on this one, Cheyenne? The process to pay invoices that become due before they can prove? Did he have anything for us?
I haven't touched base with Todd on that.
Cause I think that's
Well,
something we want to move forward with, cause we're getting some late fees and stuff.
Right, we've kind of talked about
Yeah.
it before.
Well, and I mean, today's a great example. So the reason I sent so many revised payables is, I mean, I should have known better, but the first email I sent you, I had finalized everything before I went and checked the mail. And so then I was like, oh, I should check the mail probably. So I go that and there's, 5 or 6 more bills, and looking at those due dates, it's like mid-July, it would be way before August. And that's kind of the problem I run into is I receive a lot of bills kind of late. I mean, this seems late, I guess, to me to receive a bill, but
And I think the information we're waiting from Todd for was whether it was going to, like, if we just pay with the credit card, which the credit card was one of them, right? That we were late on, or, if it had to be a ordinance or resolution. Cause I think, yeah, Deary uses one of those. Yeah,
Yeah, and Nez Perce does as well.
yeah. So we just need to figure out, I mean, we definitely need to figure it out. I don't know how we want to move forward. Does anybody have some thoughts?
Can we just temporarily give you the discretion on it while we're in the process of getting an official resolution or whatever?
I mean, is it okay to approve her paying it with the credit card? And then by the time that's billed, it's on the next tables.
I mean,
I
just
don't know how it,
the mayor's discretion
yeah.
for those bills. I'm comfortable with that, if there's a way to.
Is there a way we can do, like, get a list of those ones, so they know which bills are the ones that we're gonna have to pay early? Do you have something is that something?
At least with a lot of the bills that I know we're receiving
Yeah,
each month,
Yeah,
like
just
our
like-
Vista and TDS and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure the due date's probably about the same each month.
so that
so I
the
could
council,
go through.
just so the council would know, these are the bills that I'm gonna have to pay early.
Yeah,
So you guys know.
if
these
you'd like, I
bills are
could
gonna
go
have-
through the bills and get an idea of due dates for things and present that to you guys.
We could put that on this, well, we could put it on the special meeting if we wanted to, if we needed to do it this month. I mean, I'm fine with doing the credit card, but I don't know if the credit card will absorb, because you only have a $3,000 limit.
Right.
So I don't know if it'll absorb all of that. So if, and I, like with Mark's idea, I think that there should be, if we went that route, there should be a number. Like, cause I don't wanna, like, there needs to be a cap of what I can approve, in situations like this. I would feel more comfortable with a cap, just for full transparency, make sure everything is on the up and up. And we could do this until, like, for this month, until we can get, however we wanna do it, whether the credit card or whatever, and we can get something from Todd for an actual ordinance or whatever moving forward. But definitely want some kind of, whether it's on the credit card or if you want me to approve up to an X amount, I would, has to be a cap.
I'm cool.
So I don't know what everybody else's thoughts are. I know we're just kind of throwing you into some weirdness. Yeah.
We're steady to, I don't know, I don't know about just for this month, I think if we had an idea, like, are these regular bills, then we say, okay, your cap is.
Right. And we could-
$200 more than that or whatever, yeah, if
And
we
we
kind of
could-
had an idea what those are always the ones coming up,
Mhm. And could you have that figured out for our special meeting?
Yeah, I think that'd be the way to do it, and then we just give you a description that $100 more than that, or $200,
Right,
something
right.
like that, and then, I mean, I don't know, we'll pay on late fees, but I'll bet that'll.
Yeah, we're,
I'll bet it's gonna cost us more. to do
yeah,
late fees
we've
than
absorbed
just
some
that.
late fees there, yeah, for sure.
So, I think that'd be my suggestion, let's get an idea of what those bills would be. Then we can approve you to okay them, and like Mark said, until, up to that limit or just a hair above.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
So do we want to, is there a motion to table that until we can get that information for our special meeting?
I'll motion to table it until we
Second.
get more information.
Moved and seconded, all in favor? Motion passes. Okay, so Justin and I had talked about this, cause, I do things a little differently than, the previous administration did. As far as I've done Cheyenne's 30, 60, 90-day review. I plan on doing yearly reviews with Justin, Joe, and Cheyenne. Those will be September this year. But Justin and I were talking on how we wanted to, and this is just a discussion item, just something to think about, if we want to stay with fiscal year or if we want to do anniversary, like how we want to move forward with the raises we have. Joe, who's just over a year, Cheyenne's just over 90, so just something to kind of think about. And like I said, with the reviews will be up for council to look at if they want. Cheyenne's are in her file. We won't be looking at them, obviously. I don't know if it would have to ask Todd about open meeting, or if you guys want to just pop in and look at them, I think is the more appropriate way, just because it's HIPAA stuff or privacy stuff. Yeah.
So kind of what I brought up to Nick is just the review thing like we were talking about. And we get our anniversary, on our anniversary date, we get our vacation. So it kind of makes sense to get, if you're getting your performance review on your anniversary date, then you're getting your performance raise on your anniversary date as well. That seems logical, but it's not in the handbook.
Right, so that would be something we'd want to change if we do that.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm doing September this year is just because it's new and I have a week off in September to be able to come down and do that.
Well, I think it's a good idea September because fiscal year starts in October. So like the bookkeeping end of things would be easier if it was September and then kicks in October.
So Dick just used to do 50 cents in October, that's it. Done. Cost of living raise, 50 cents, that's it. And then city council had to come in later and give me a $5 an hour raise because I was so far behind
Hmm.
the ball.
And so, and another reason that I decided to do performance reviews is because that protects the employees and protects the city as well
Oh, yeah.
for possible terminations or, I mean, just anything, so.
So I asked Nick if, after I did Joe's review, if I could give him a raise. And Basically, the answer was no, based on the way things are. So I guess my question is, I took it for granted that that the raises are already budgeted in the next budget year. You know, I'm going out for a license, that's $2.50 an hour, that's what city council agreed, that's immediate. If I get my license, I get my pay raise the next day.
Yeah,
If you know we're doing reviews every year on an anniversary date, that can be budgeted in and it can just be granted, you know what I'm saying? And that can be changed in the policy, in the handbook. So that's kind of how this came about. It's totally your decision. I just think 50 cents a year for cost of living is not adequate anyway.
Not competitive.
Not competitive. Good work. Not that I'm angling for a raise. I am not.
You're not getting $5. Don't.
I don't. I'm just saying, if we're doing performance reviews and you could do it all at the same time. You could give the performance raise and the 50 cent cost of living raise at the same time in October. But it's totally up to you guys. I just think, and Nick agreed, we just kind of, look at this and figure out, how we want to handle it.
I love that you're doing performance evaluations, but I'm gonna defer to Eric on this subject, because I think he knows a lot about it.
like you, Mr. Clone, know a lot about this too. If they're doing, I would do like the bookkeeping end of things. So I agree that the 50% is a year is inadequate. I mean, that should be something that's agreed by the council,
Right.
like on a percentage basis, because inflation one year, the next is not 50%, 50 cents a year.
Well, I thought this would be a good conversation, talking about budget stuff.
Yeah. So I would like when it comes to budgeting, figure out, guesstimate what the cost of living increase for the next year would be. And then you should be able to factor in increases in pay due to increases in licenses, right? And then in some cases, you're not going to spend all of that because that's just what happens. People get busy. So that'd be my suggestion. But I would especially if we're doing the evaluations in September and fiscal year starts in October, I would tie everything to fiscal year. Make it simple, bookkeeping wise.
Yeah, seems to me, I don't know how these evaluations are done, because we have to do a ton of them, but normally to get a raise, you have to get a satisfactory evaluation as well. And so it seems to me that when you get that evaluation is when you should get the raise if you're going to get it, because it kind of,
Right.
and then if the person maybe isn't meeting their performance goals, and maybe say, maybe you need to try harder, or they get not as much. I mean, I know everybody kind of depending on, if they're union or not, they either all get 2.5% or whatever,
Right.
like target. But to me, it seems like once you get that evaluation, like that reward is, hey, you did great work last year, here's your money.
Right.
I don't want to put it that simple, it's not carrot and stick, but it kind of, it's like, hey, you got your license. You deserve that reward then. Seems to me like that would be more rewarding for our employees, from my perspective.
So the way they do them at the mill is we would get our year-end review, and then the beginning of the next calendar year is how they do it. Is when you get your, like, right after, like you're saying, they did a number system, and then based on like 1 through 5, what you got, created a certain percentage of your raise. The way that I've done Cheyenne's was I didn't do the number system. I just kind of typed something up, just talking about her performance and stuff like that. And that's kind of what I was leaning towards with Justin and Joe. Justin did one more based on kind of numbers and like satisfactory, not. So, and that's something that I could put like at the end, but that's kind of how we did them at the mill. And is it something, are we thinking something else, I guess, to consider as a percentage or a flat rate, or, something else to think about? Because I had not really thought about the percentage thing.
Are we talking about there's automatically a cost of living? And then in addition to that, it's kind of like a merit based on their evaluation kind of thing?
Or, well, see, we never got, at the mill, it's not, they don't break it up like that. It's just, your performance was this is what you get. So that's up to you guys of how, because in the employee handbook, it does say that the final decision does, because the council pays the bills, because
Yeah.
it comes down to the council, of how we want to.
Isn't there like
Do
a
that.
government 101 way that most government does
Well, we
this?
kind of follow the state guideline.
Yeah.
Because we're a state entity.
Yeah.
I think they're 3%, but sometimes the governor freezes and says 1% raises only this year, or sometimes I think he's done no raises before.
I think it's pretty good
Not that-
system. I mean,
I'm just saying that I think it's the state
Yeah.
model is what we kind of follow.
that's what we're doing now is a state model?
Well,
Exactly.
I don't think 50 cents was the.
Right.
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 I don't know if
Well-
it was a model.
Right. I think it was kind of just what we could afford.
That was me whispering in his ear.
Yeah.
50 cents.
So my question is like, what is the written policy and procedure? Do we have one? And if we don't, I think we need to implement one.
So the procedure is that raises can be given, I think it said at any time on the council's discretion. I sent you a picture
It
of
says the council.
That is well written.
what it says.
But like
But it-
percentage or what
It
we're
doesn't,
doing.
it
I
doesn't,
think
yeah, it doesn't
helps.
really say percentage or flat rate amount. We've always just, in the almost 12 years I've been on, it's always been flat rate.
That's about right, yeah.
Yeah, flat rate. We've never done a percentage.
If I were writing that, I would say if applicable, the city would follow the state's guidelines.
I have it if you want me to.
That's what I would do.
Go ahead and read
I
it,
would-
Justin.
Compensation policies, establishment of employee compensation. Employees are compensated in accordance with and subject to the decisions of the city council as annual budgets are set and are subject to increase, reduction, or status quo maintenance for any time period. The mayor or department head may make suggestions about salary compensation and other pay system concerns, but the final decision regarding compensation policy rests with the city council. B, compliance with state and federal pay acts. The city will comply with all state and federal pay acts governing compensation of its employees. C, right to change compensation and benefits. The city may change general compensation for any reason deemed appropriate by the city council. Compensation may also be adjusted based upon job performance and the availability of funds to maintain a solvent city budget. Hours worked may be reduced or employees may be laid off as necessary to meet budgetary constraints or as work needs change.
I think that was the one that we wrote when you were one before. Yeah.
I like it. I don't really see anything wrong with the policy myself.
Well, I think we should just put in there whether it's gonna be flat rate or up to a percentage maybe, or I don't know.
Don't we want the flexibility? I'm sorry.
Right.
Well,
Well, yeah, I see that too.
yeah, what I was thinking is can we put something in there and then the wording would be like kind of like when I said, well, we'll either follow kind of, use the state as kind of a guidance, and then we say, hey, because normally, you can look and everybody gonna, okay, the CPI for next year or next month is estimated to be whatever.
Right.
Like the current police union, that they get no less than 1%, but they'll get no more than 2.5%. And that helps on both sides, because then the police know they're gonna get some raise, even if the CPI is not, even if it's below 1%, which Lewis City Council hates that, because now they're paying,
Mhm.
they're not really budgeting for that, but it's not gonna break them. But they know they can get up to a 5, but that's good for the city, because if the CPI goes up to 5%, they're only paying the lower percentage, and then it's agreed upon, and obviously we don't have union here, but to me, I would say, that's where we look at what the CPI potentially is, and I'm not the finance guy,
Right.
but I think we look at that and then we just kind of base it on that, saying it would be, a percentage, whatever that would be, like within that CPI or something, just say that way that our employees know, hey, you're gonna get no less than this percentage if you get a satisfactory eval, but it won't go over that, and then we can budget for, if we know we're never gonna go over 3%, we budget for it, and if we're under, great, if we're not, then, but then the employees also know, hey, this is what I can make this year potentially if, these are good, but they'll know I'm not getting this, and this would be my thought. The wording on it,
Right.
I'm the idea guy, not the wording.
Right.
But I think that would, to me, and I think we leave it to employees kind of give their input. To me, that seems kind of fair, and then allows us to budget right, but allows them to know, hey, they have that opportunity, and not, it's, because 1 year, a couple bucks might be great, and the next year, maybe not.
Right.
And like I say, I don't know, during the revenues, I don't know what our city or your evaluations, like, we should probably have a standard one. That way the employees, like ours, like, these are this is what it takes to be what, and whether you want to, we could argue all day, but I'm like, like, do you want to do numbers? I've heard them, you either do your job, you're not doing your job, or you're selling at your job. There's no, you know, 1 through 10, or like, no,
Right.
and there's arguments to everything. Or if you want it, and then you say, if it's satisfactory, then you will get this percentage or whatever. And I thought,
Well, I think what's confusing about this policy is, and I still don't understand, and it's up to you guys, but if Joe's anniversary date is in April, then I have to, and I want to give him a raise, then I have to come to city council in May to get it approved. And then my anniversary is in December. Nick would have to come before city council and ask for a raise. Cheyenne's is in
March.
March, and I guess what I'm saying is, you can already budget that in there in the budget.
Well, and I think
And
what,
so then we don't have to ask like,
right, and I
Or-
think what Eric was talking about is basically doing that, but doing it all fiscal year, so it's easier for bookkeeping. So basically, your anniversary dates are what they are, but your raises would still be
October 1st.
October 1st. So it wouldn't be, so basically, you would probably want to adjust Joe's evaluation to September like I do yours.
Okay.
That's basically the way I would look at it. That way there, so fiscal year start, and correct me if I'm wrong
Yeah,
here.
that's right.
Fiscal year starts, raises start, so it's all tied to that 1 year, so we're not like kind of all over the place, I think is, yeah, what Eric was talking about.
And we wouldn't have to come back in front of council and have those approved.
Right, because it would be budgeted in that pending, the thing that would change is pending your evaluation.
That was my main question.
Yeah.
Do we have to go in front of city council every time? I'm like, that doesn't seem, to me, that doesn't seem efficient or.
I think
don't
if
see
it's,
why it would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we put something in there, or basically we said, yeah, if you get a satisfactory evaluation,
mhm.
you can get your raise.
Yeah, all evaluations are in September. And then,
Yeah, and
do the 1, 2, 3, whatever you
Right.
wanna do.
Pending your evaluation.
Yeah, and then Todd would make it look all pretty and right
Yes.
for us.
And,
Yes.
and especially with as few employees the city has, I think normally I like it on the anniversary date, but like, that's what McDowell's saying. I think maybe that would be the way to do it. And then we all know it. Hey, everybody in the city got a
Mhm.
satisfactory eval. Everybody's doing good here. This is what we need to budget for. I think that's smart for our size. That's what we say.
Well, I like the council having discretion as much as possible. And so depending on what the language says, I don't have any problem with the city aiming towards the state standard, but we're a small town and they're a big state, so we might need discretion. Also, some of us have experienced different mayors do things differently. I like the city to be able to say no, or the council to say, no, this is what we're sticking to. So I want to keep as much discretion in the language with the council as possible and not surrender any of that.
Well, and I think what it would basically be is that it's like, we would just put it on to, maybe not ordinance wouldn't be the right word, but just, it would be approved by the council when we pass our budget kind of thing. So you guys would still approve it, and then you could look at the copies, you could come down and look at the copies of it, and then it would still be approved by council. It's like we have to, pass the budget, you guys have to adopt the budget. So it might be more of a resolution that gets adopted every year versus an ordinance, because ordinances are automatic. So it might be something like that. That would be something for Todd to write up basically, so you guys would have the final approval that, okay, the satisfactory, they get whatever.
Yeah, he should have no problem writing lots of options, because I mean, if there's like economic downturn, we can't afford a raise. It
Right,
happens.
it has to, and that has to be there, because it does say it now, where we would have to say, well, because I know that the county, I believe they had to do some stuff like that here in recent years.
I think it should be on the mayor, no offense, to tell the council that this is what I want to do, this is in line with this, the evaluations are done. And for the most part, like with you, I was be like, yeah, sounds good. You're managing the city well. But I do want this council to be able to say, hold the phone.
Right,
hold up."
just in case
Yeah.
different folks
Yeah, and
end
I
up in
think
here.
that's right, yeah, you can kind of give us the guidance and we can decide, okay, we can give the employees this percentage based on whatever research we have that says the, CPI is this and we can afford 2%, whatever it would be.
And a resolution would be a really good idea, because it's
Yeah.
written down,
Mm-hmm.
and we can run off that.
And then we can budget like Jeff said for the max, and then when I give my valuations of them or whatever, then we have that adjustment, so we're not having to, we'll budget for the max, and then if we, or,
Always gonna be
yeah,
under.
yep.
The other issue, oh, sorry, go ahead, man.
I was just gonna say, I like policies to be specific. So I like, what is that Lewiston's policy? Not less than 1% and whatever we
Right,
agreed
right.
on, but something specific. So year after year, we're not going, oh, what percentage, what are we gonna do? I mean, maybe mayor would still have discretion to bring, like, I wanna do 2% or whatever, and we can agree on that, but the policy written to be more specific.
Well, because
on what the anticipated raise could be.
Could be, yeah,
Right.
could be.
Could be.
And then,
Could be,
well,
right.
if we do it as a resolution, we can do that every year, we can do.
Yeah,
Things aren't looking so good, we might have, but then it's for to me, the employees, because then they know, this isn't gonna be a year to go buy the new boat or something. you know?
yeah.
well, and with that, like, because I remember, was it last year, the year before, was it last year we got in the fight with trying to figure out, like, okay, well, you get this amount, you get, so I think the percentage,
Yeah,
I think is definitely an easier way to work things, in my opinion, just because trying to figure out, because if you're talking specific dollars for each employee, the other employee might, because I think we had a little bit of weirdness in previous
Yeah.
times when we were talking about that in the council
The
meeting.
percentage is always the best thing, because that way you're treating everybody fairly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you're like a teacher, there's a salary schedule. And unless the legislature screws up something with the minimums, it's always a percentage. And they screwed it up this year, so. And it's infinite.
We won't do that.
Okay, so definitely something to think about, and would move forward with that as we move forward with our budget stuff.
Can I ask a quick question though, real fast?
Yeah.
Justin, particularly, did that cover the ground you were wanting to cover as far as that goes, or was there?
Oh, right,
Well,
good question.
I just didn't quite understand how, the way that it was written, it seemed like you'd already approved the raises, so I didn't want, like, if they're already approved in the budget, then we have to turn around and come back and ask for the raises again, like, I just think something more specific would help everybody.
Mhm.
I think that alone could be a great Todd question, just
Yeah.
that
You know,
alone.
I didn't want to do something wrong, and neither did
Right.
him. I
Right.
didn't want to just
Right.
approve it and move on, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
find out that.
Right.
you were in-
Well, this
Yeah.
is
You do.
a new problem. It's a welcome new problem.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think that as we move forward with this, we should, because I know that former Counselor Dodge wanted to look at the employee handbook because there was some things that we wanted to change. So it's been quite a few years. So we might want to also look at the employee handbook as we're going through some of this stuff and see if there's things we want to update. Especially with the way the changed for now, we just have Cheyenne, who's clerk treasurer. We no longer have two positions over there. So might be time to just kind of go through that and see if there's any things that we want to update as we move forward with this.
Well, and the review process specifically,
Yeah.
because.
Yeah, and that needs to be in
I've
there.
been called, by employers saying, well, what's this person's review what kind of person are they, whatever, and I'm like, well, I have nothing, sorry, I mean.
Right.
I can't say anything, because I don't have a document, I don't have anything to speak to it, and so I think it protects both parties, so. yeah.
Anything else? Okay, staff reports, you're up.
Just real quick, well number 5 is up and running. They came and fixed it last Thursday. They put a new pump, new pipes in, and it's pumping water. So Joe's been watching it, and it's working well. And so that's cold water coming into our system from over there. So I'm so relieved that it's working. And then construction is starting next Monday on July 17th. So we thought maybe they were starting yesterday, but it didn't happen. We got the official email today that they're.
I thought that Monday, 17th. I thought they were moving equipment in on Monday.
Monday's the 14th,
Yeah.
so Thursday would be the 7th.
Thursday the 17th, because
We're still on May.
Whose job is it to change the calendar?
I don't know whose job that is. I think it used to be.
You get what, if it's my job, you get what you pay for.
Cindy used to change it. You're
Oh,
dropping
geez,
the
sorry.
ball, Amanda.
No one told me.
Construction is ready.
Ah, I should not be responsible for you. Sorry, Justin, go ahead.
No, I think that's all I would have talked about.
Oh, gee.
Can I ask you a question, Justin?
There we go. Good enough.
Is there an update on the Main Street dip?
So, we talked with Eric Hendren, who's our Idaho Department of Transportation representative. He came up and looked at it. He also looked at the dip in front of Mike Thurston's place over there. And they're surveying, they're doing work on the highway, they're mapping, they're getting ready to redo it. Not next year, probably 2027. But anyway, I had to fill out a work permit to do work on the shoulder of the right of way. So I had the permit filled out last week and I sent it in, and Thursday it got rejected.
What?
And so they have a committee review process, and the committee had questions about our traffic control pattern, what exactly we were doing, what our plans were, like more in-depth questions. So I answered them the best I could, and I resubmitted it on Monday. We did rent a mini excavator to start work on the 21st. I'm hoping that the permit comes back before then. They said it only takes 5 days, but hopefully it comes back and we can get started.
Okay.
Because it is getting worse.
Yeah.
And we think it's a water line, but it may not be.
Is there any danger, just throw this out there, of a car going through the road?
I've had people stop and tell me that. They're afraid a car is gonna fall through it.
It looks like a car's gonna throw it through.
I don't know where it would all be going, because it's not coming out the side or the bottom, I don't know where all that material would have gone.
But so the state's not worried about
The
that?
state
Okay.
seems to be completely not worried about it.
Well, I appreciate it, Justin, because I bet you guys are getting bugged to death about that.
Every place I go, the store, the everywhere, everybody asks me, "Oh, did you see that dip?"
Yeah, like, no, didn't notice.
And Frank called it a long time ago. He noticed a little puddle in the corner over there. Said there's something happening right there.
I told Bud he designed that road. Because he was
Well,
used to design
actually,
road.
what the state told us, and Joe, tell me if I'm wrong, but Eric Hendren told us that the mag chloride that they're using on our roads now doesn't allow the roadbed to freeze anymore. And so the roads are like jello in the winter, and it's causing them all the bumps between Kendrick and Juliaetta are because the roadbed didn't freeze, and it's messing with everything. And so now they're gonna try some other kind of product, a new salt or something.
Well, I saw they had blue salt at the Kendrick shop.
So
we can all officially say we're waiting on the state.
we actually
Okay.
really.
Okay. Good deal. Oh, thank
So
you.
the reason for us wanting to rent the mini hose, because our hose is so big that we'd have to actually block the whole
Block the
lane.
lane.
And so we're hoping to be able to use the mini hose and stay off so we can just do a detour around instead of having to have flaggers and everything to do that project.
We
So
want to
we're
know
just
what
trying to
it
get it
is.
so we can just
Right.
But
do a
I mean,
lane detour.
we may have to close the whole road or a lane, but
That's
until
all
we
right.
know
We
what's
just
going
drive
on
the
there.
bike path.
Well, I appreciate you guys handling that and taking all the
It's
questions.
stressful.
Yeah, you need an admin just to deal with all the questions. Dang.
Maybe we're just hoping to do a lane detour with it so they can just drive around and not have just have them slow down to 25 and then drive around that way through there. And then we're talked about, we're probably gonna close off the 4th at State Street, because that's gonna be part of that. So there's nobody that's just, so they don't have to detour each way. So we don't have anybody coming down right where they're going through the middle of that change. So.
Anything else, Justin?
No, I'm good.
Jeff?
Thank you.
Amanda?
So let's see, the baseball agreement, I finally heard back from Genesee. And surprisingly enough, they're in the same boat, that they do not have an official agreement, but they do plan on drafting one. I said, well, when you do, let me know, because then I can just review it and see if it's applicable. Haven't been in touch with Moscow yet. I did reach out to Brian last week late. Haven't heard. I was hoping maybe to have him come and speak to council this month, just to open up the communication. And then trying to draft, even if it's just a rough draft and something that we can add on to later, once we get more information from other places on how to do things. Just so that relationship's a little more cohesive and friendly, I guess.
Who are you talking about?
Baseball association.
I thought we were real friendly with them.
Well, like,
More of a, instead of just a handshake, a written,
well, written one, but then there's lots of things that they do that they don't always like come and communicate, or we don't get schedules, so we're not quite sure when to water and when to mow, and
So you're thinking leaning, sorry if I may, you're leaning more towards them communicating better and, or are you leaning more towards the city having a bigger financial stake in what they're doing?
I mean, I would like to see some investment. Now, I'm not saying like tons of money, they've done great work, but I would just like, if, I know that they have lots of plans. So bringing those plans to us, communicating, so we can budget, or we can talk or say, hey, nope, not for us, or whatever. But at the same time, like new people at the city, new people at association, it's like, who is responsible for what? There's nothing. We kind of always are like, well, Justin mows, but then just having something in agreement. And then just having more of a better relationship and communication. Um,
well, and I think we were gonna include the high school in that as well,
and
right?
trying to include the high school. I do know the high school pays minimal, I think, towards the association. They did provide a good chunk towards the lights this year, but Genesee School District actually pays their rec district to use their field. So I'm thinking, should the school be paying us if that's what we want, or, you know, to help cover maintenance during their season? You know, what do we want to do to make it more of a formal agreement? And kind of recoup some of those costs, but then just being involved. I mean, it is our field, they do a great job, but like, do we really know what they're doing?
Right.
No, because they're not communicating with us. So that's just kind of my thought on that. So it's just a work in progress, trying to get more information on how, what to include in the agreement.
Well, thank you for answering that.
Then I'm still working on trying to, like, do the community cleanup day, trying to plan that for April. Did hear back from the city and Spokane Hilliard, I think. Anyways, so I'd eventually like to bring that and have the date and have the council approve that. And then the only other thing, I've been out walking, doing Christine's fitness challenge, and did talk to Justin about at least one homeowner that the sidewalk is nearly impassable, and reminding that homeowners are responsible for clearing their sidewalk. So I'm not sure if he reached out to them, but just anybody else, like if there's a sidewalk, it is your responsibility, snow, brush, and all that stuff.
I reached out adjacent, but not directly, but yes, we'll have a conversation.
Yeah.
See how it can be remedied.
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah.
Can I ask about that? We spent thousands upon thousands of dollars on sidewalks recently too, like we spent a lot of money on sidewalks over the last couple of years, right?
We got a quote of what the problem areas were, but I don't know that
Well, we spent
we spent,
8,000
yeah, we spent
8,000.
on
8,000.
having all of the trip hazards
Okay.
taken away.
Right, there's,
So that's, I'm leaning into what Amanda's saying is like, we've vested in these sidewalks, the
And
people
then,
should maintain them.
oh, right, I see
Yeah.
what you're saying.
We did spend, cut down trees on all the trees
Okay,
in front of the Blackberry Inn, in front of over here, the library and everywhere, because they were really damaging the sidewalks.
yeah,
I don't know, if I can speak to it, but Jake came down yesterday and we measured over 500 feet of sidewalks. We did Third all the way from the pizza bank down the railroad. We did some on Water Street. We did the main, we did in front of Mike's, and we did the post office. So Eric has volunteered very graciously to see what kind of grant funding might be out there to help repair sidewalks. But I recognize that they're a big deal right
Mhm.
now.
Yeah.
You know, so we want to continue working on those. But Jake will get us numbers, and then the city can decide how much they want to spend, how much grant we get, that kind of thing.
Do you have anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay. I just have a couple things. First, the Ag West credit or grant that we were supposed to get from Reagan. Wendy was gonna be the liaison for that, and he has not reached back out to her, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that. I just want to make sure the citizens knew that, because we had put the thing on Facebook asking for ideas, and I had submitted those ideas to Mr. McDowell, who's gonna be looking at some grants for possible things, but we kind of not sure what's going on with that one. Just want to make sure that everybody knew that. The credit cards have been taken care of, so they will be showing up with the next week or so. We switched from Wells Fargo to LCCU. And then we'll need to call a special meeting for the budget stuff, because we have to have our budget published 2 weeks before our budget hearing in October. And so I will actually be out of town. I'm leaving Monday. I did want to let the council know I'll be out of town for about a week and a half. I will be available by phone. I will be traveling. I've talked to Amanda and the staff that if they need anything signed, she's a signer. She can take care of it. And if there's something the emergency needs, that you guys can reach out to me by phone. Okay. I did want to thank the fire departments, all that did come and take care of us the other night when that fire started real quickly and got it under control very quickly. So, thanks to, I saw Clifford and Joe and Logan and Troy and everybody out there. So I do appreciate the fire department getting.
Juliaetta had 10.
Yeah. Nice.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, I do appreciate, I saw Kendrick out. I do appreciate all the fire department taking care of us, because after last year, I think we're all just a little on edge. Yep. Something else I think we need to look at is, I think we've looked at them in the past, is the resolution fees. We have that resolution for like cemetery plots and everything, and I don't remember if we do that now or if we do it September, October, but that's something that we can talk about and maybe get something out to the council at the special meeting to just glance over, so we can make sure that we're on top of that as well. So for the special meeting, I'm leaving there, so we were thinking there.
Yeah.
Would that work for everybody, Thursday?
Yeah.
Or Friday? I know that Fridays is a lot, so
I could do Friday if that's all we have.
I know that Cheyenne has some stuff on Friday, so if we could do Thursday, we'd try to make that on
I
Thursday.
prefer Thursday if possible.
I prefer Thursday. I'm supposed to babysit Friday, so.
What time?
What time would work for you? Because we don't have a time set. We can call it whatever time.
I gotta work till 5, and it's like of course, the one day I have something scheduled till 5. Other than that, so I have time like 6 or 7, that'd be.
So 6? So let's do it for Thursday at 6, and we'll start with the budget workshop, and then we'll go into the regular meeting, and then we will, on that agenda will be the passing of the tentative budget. So we need to pick a time for the regular meeting. I don't know how long we think we're gonna need to finish the budget.
I mean, what was that? We have 8.
Just 6 to
10
7 work
2,
again?
3.
What do you think, an hour's enough to go through what's left?
No. Well, I mean, like I said, my perspective is we slashed and burned and we're pulling things out now. I mean, I'm fairly confident that the budget is hovering roughly where it should be. And we're just sprinkling a little extra money here. So I think so.
Well, we need to also do the salaries.
We have 4 pages to
Be here
go through.
Thursday, but
Okay.
Joe could be here if he wanted to be.
There won't be any, it'll be basically, we we won't even do staff reports probably, so it'll be budget workshop, the approval of the tentative budget, and was there something else we were gonna put on that we talked about?
Will we have the Tyler thing?
Oh, and the bills thing, yeah,
Yeah.
and then we'll have, public comment and adjournment. I don't think we'll need staff reports, so, I mean, if Joe wants to come to represent you for the budget,
Yeah.
Joe can do that,
Okay.
yeah. So, thoughts on how long for the rest of the budget?
Do an hour and a half.
So we'll do budget workshop from 6 to 7:30 and regular meeting will start at 7:30. Okay,
And you leave that open-ended for the budget meeting, or you have to have it?
well, we have to have a time for the regular meeting to start because in case some citizens just want to come for the regular meeting and not for the budget part. So that's why we have to have a specific time. So if we get done early, we could hang out and wait for the actual time. Because we've actually done that once, I think, in the whole budget process. One time we got done early, got to sit for, I think it was like 20 minutes just hanging out. Yeah. So I would rather just take a little extra time and make sure that we have time and then the regular meeting will start.
Open-ended so you can make sure you get through the budget.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
we're gonna have to just knuckle down
Yeah.
and get it done in an hour and a
Get it
half.
done.
Yep.
Get it done.
Okay, Mark, you got it? Oh,
Oh,
You good?
no, I forgot that we weren't done. I did want to, appreciate Cheyenne's meeting notes. Let me tell you, after reading 30 years of notes that were sorely lacking, I'm sure it's time consuming, but I do appreciate the added detail and
I did like how she broke it up into sections for counselors and
Yeah.
everything. That made it a lot easier to read.
yeah, so, and it's great having the details. So like, and tonight, make sure to put 209 Main, because meeting notes are like so-and-so's parents' house. I'm like, what house are we talking about? So anyway, thank you. Before I forgot again. All right, sorry.
So Eric and I were talking, and I'm pretty sure it was my idea, but no, I'm kidding. We want to do, pictures of the mayors back here, all the history of the mayors. So we're asking the public if you have any pictures, maybe the historical associations, pictures of the mayor. Of course, Nick will be up there. And, yeah, it'd be a cool project. It'd be something the whole community can get involved in. So please spread the word and see what we can find, all the former mayors and who's who and what's what. And we'll see if we can dig it up.
I think it's a great idea, not because, and I'm not one to love my picture.
Oh, here we go.
I'm not one to love my picture taken, but I think it provides history of our town and I mean, there was, we've always had some pictures of the history of our town and I think that we definitely need to just kind of show a little more history in here for people who come in to see and if anybody has any, because I don't imagine we'll take up all the wall space, so if anybody has some other ideas, but yeah, I think it'll kind of just, like what, I think it's Stoughton County and Nez Perce County have their mounted posse or something.
Nez Perce County, I think, has the sheriff's posse, and then Minnesota has previous judges and prosecutors.
Anything else, Mark?
No, sir.
Mr. Eric?
I talked to Stillman about grants and they were helpful, so I got us, now that I'm done with my class, more or less, I can start writing research.
And are you just looking at sidewalks or you're just trying to
Uh,
find anything that's
so-
applicable right now?
The easiest ones are sidewalks. They had, since we need signs, there's a sign grant available.
Oh, nice.
And then there's another one for like, it's kind of a Hail Mary thing for like fixing roads. Which it's always welcome.
Anything else? Cheyenne?
I guess the big update would be the training that I went to down in Provo. It was 2 days, 8 to 5, and it was phenomenal. The people at Casella are so knowledgeable. I had a separate trainer for each kind of program that we have, like the utility management or accounts payable or, the other things that I do day to day. I can't think of, but, so that was really nice. We went through each step and they answered all my questions. Got a lot of insight as to what needs to be done to either fix things from the past or just things from the past that need to be done still. Lots of work ahead. Caselle's really helpful, and they said that, any questions I have, to reach out and they can help tackle it with me. I know Caselle, you can also hire them to help clean up the books. So that's something that I could check into and get an idea of what that would cost. But yeah, training was great. Came back and I was sick for a couple days, so I haven't really been around a lot. But yeah, training was the big thing, and I appreciate you guys letting me go down there and do that. It was super beneficial.
Good. So for when you, tomorrow on the Facebook page, could you put, asking for the mayor's pictures and stuff from anybody who might have them? And then we want to make sure that we get the,
I'm gonna need another photo. Well, so at the end, I'll need you guys to.
Yeah.
Re-sign or whatever.
yeah, so we can make sure we get that out on the Facebook page. Anything else, Shan? Joe?
I don't have anything that's really new, but
Okay, Clifford?
Well, fire season is here and it doesn't look like it's gonna be a nice
Yeah.
season. There's fires, I mean, all over the state, Washington, Oregon,
Mm-hmm.
Montana's already. So. be
So-
prepared.
So a fireworks show to celebrate, the sewage treatment, I think that was the other question.
As long as all of them are going this way.
Okay.
I don't want them to go across the, well, it used to be a creek.
Try to.
Yeah.
Can I say something, Mayor? I appreciate Cliff and Joe, you guys making a decision on fireworks and standing by that decision. I wish Kendrick had done the same thing.
They
and
already
therefore-
have an ordinance that they cannot have any
Okay.
city, like Kendrick, yeah.
Okay, is that,
No,
okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Good.
I did want to thank the citizens for, I think I heard maybe
Yeah.
a couple, but I did want to thank the citizens.
I got several phone calls at
Yeah.
9:30, 10 o'clock, and so I just turned my phone off.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I know it's one of those holidays that's what it's
Juliaetta doesn't
for.
have a ticket book, so I can't write a ticket.
I know.
But I
But-
mean, I said,
Right.
please inform Latah County,
Yeah,
because I already informed Latah County that we would not have fireworks or any more fires of any
Yeah.
kind.
Well, it's not a popular decision and I appreciate that you made it.
yeah, I appreciate that too, because,
Actually, I had a lot of good feedback.
Good.
Good.
well, I think
That's bad,
definitely
but
after,
I was expecting bad feedback. But
Yeah.
I got a lot more good than bad.
Good.
yeah, especially I think, after last year, it really hit close to home. And I know that holiday is for fireworks and stuff like that, but not here. It was just too dry.
Oh.
And then it's an unfortunate thing, but it's just too dry and we just want to make sure we save our town. Don't want to go through the craziness it was.
Yeah.
Okay. You got anything else, Clifford? Okay, we'll move on to public comment. Does anybody have any public comment? I'd be curious to your thoughts on the new system that we're for paying, if anybody has any comments on that.
I like it.
Do I have to go up there?
No, you can just,
So I think it's great because we use the old system and it is not user friendly. I had used it a couple times and I even went, no, I'm just gonna send in the check. This system is ridiculous. And I think that the new system would just be better. And I love the idea of being able to sign up for paperless billing and being able to save the cost because, well, we had a hiccup where our bill we paid it, but it didn't get registered to get paid. So just having that and not having it automatically update, that's just a great thing too. And I think you'll find that if you go to that system, it's gonna save you not only on all of the time to send out those bills and the paper and the stamps, it's gonna save you time on processing the books.
Absolutely.
I use it and I agree 100%.
Yeah, and to us, it's worth the.
I
The
can't
3%
get in
fee.
here when you're open, so I mean, that's perfect.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah.
I hate checks.
Yeah, yeah, that's us too.
Look up at the hospital.
I would like to comment to the raises. I think it's great that look at what the max raise would be and then budgeting that in. And if you're tying it to the CPI, if I'm understanding it correctly. I do believe that there should be some sort of language that says if the CPI exceeds this, then our employees deserve some sort of bonus. Because frankly, it is these 3 employees that are out there every single day dealing with some pretty terrible people in town, having to put up with the attitude, having to deal with the heat, having to deal with everything, compared to city council members that come in here once, maybe twice a month. So I think that if you're gonna tie it to the CPI, there should be something written in there that they deserve a bonus if the CPI exceeds what your expectations are, because they deserve that. They help make this town run. And so I think that it's important that we make sure that they're appreciated for that when you do exceed on a CPI. Because like I said, they have to deal with a lot of stuff, even when they're not on the clock. I mean, I know that Justin and probably Joe and even Cheyenne get questioned about the dip in the road, you know, when they're not on the clock. So I think that's things that, you know, small things like that are things that we should be looking at as a consideration for them. And then my last thing is, a couple meetings ago, fees had been discussed, what it's costing the town for certain things that we have to do, like we're talking about late fees and trying to get rid of those by just approving things to get paid early. I do think that we, as a town, should be very transparent. I understand not everything can be disclosed for legal reasons, but I do think the transparency should be there for any litigation that's being held against this town and what it's costing our tax-paying citizens to pay for an attorney to fight litigation or to research that litigation. And I think this is something that should be addressed monthly, whether it be in the meeting or whether it be a report that's published on the website, or be something that's published, you know, a PDF or something that's downloaded on Facebook. But it is something that we as the citizens of Julietta should have the right to know what the litigation is and how much we have paid so far that month in that litigation.
Our monthly bills posted online.
They are not.
No, just agendas and minutes.
Yeah, so we can reach out to Todd, because I know that one meeting I was able to say a little bit about that. But we will, I'll set up a call with Todd and we'll see what we can do to make some of that stuff. Maybe we can put our monthly bills online and kind of something like that. We can look
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah, just something, even if it's generic, saying these current like lawsuits, maybe even not defining who's suing who, or current litigation, this amount of money for X amount for 3 litigations or whatever, just something to break it down.
So like the school district posts all its monthly bills online. And
Yes.
you can go in there and say they use Julian and Hall, find them if they used them that month, then it'll be a deal. But that'd be one way to do it.
That would be ideal. That would be ideal.
Yeah, I will check with Todd and
Okay.
see, yeah.
But then I just want to tell you guys, you're doing an amazing job. I've heard great things about you, so I'm sure you're gonna do an amazing job too. Thank you, I appreciate that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that
So I
very
just
much.
want to tell you thank you, and I think that we have a really good secret city leadership going right now. That's it. That's all I have to say. That's all.
Is there any other public comments? Okay,
Yeah, I got one.
oh.
Last time when we had the fire, speaking about fires, I woke up, I don't know, about 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and I called the sheriff's department and I said, what's going on with the fire? And they said, and they said, Julieta's been evacuated. I said, oh, really? Because no one's told me. So I don't have Facebook, I don't have a computer, I don't have a cell phone. My door is in the back of the building upstairs. So do I call Latah County to come knock on my door, or how, does the city,
So
can
when
the city call something?
Latah County did come down, and the state department and state sheriff or state police, and they did drive around with their PA speaker explaining that, you know, the city was under evacuation. There has been comments to Latah County about doing an alert to everybody's phone, like a missing person kind of thing. So Unfortunately, that falls under Latah County. We
Okay.
use our resources. I mean, the fire department does their resources, but I know that they had talked about, because I've been brought up after last year's fire about doing a tone to the phones, like a missing person thing. So,
Yeah, I must have been sleeping when they went out through with the siren.
yeah, they were driving around quite fast and a lot, and it was over the loudspeaker, and Sheriff Skiles was down here himself, knocking on some doors and making sure that people knew that we were under evacuation, you know, trying to do his best.
Thank you.
Yep. So before we adjourn, Cheyenne, I would like to make sure we get for Jeff, and I know that Amanda and Eric are both paper, and I think you're paper. Are you paper still? And Justin, are you paper?
No,
I'm paper.
You're paper too?
Yeah.
Wow. So let's see if we can see if we can
I'd say
spend a couple bucks and
Okay.
get them.
So I know yours is not paper, but if they can't replicate that style, would you prefer I just get all?
No, I think it's fine to just, we can just update theirs, depending on what the cost, but I'm not too worried about mine. I just feel that we can spend a couple bucks and get them some real stuff.
You need one
Mine's,
that says me.
well, I don't think Dick's ever said Mary either. I think it just said Richard Grows Close, right?
Yeah, right.
I think Justin's is the only special one.
New mayor.
Although,
Yours says,
although people have come up here and
and hers. We know who the important people are.
Right.
I don't think that's a bad idea though, because I know people have come up and asked about the mayor, who's the mayor. Cause I think that way the public would be able to see like right away. Just a thought.
We'll see how much they are.
There's
Okay.
a new local business. We can give you the name.
Oh, perfect.
They do really, really good work.
Oh, yeah, that'd be amazing. Perfect, yeah.
Perfect.
I'll chat with you after.
Okay, so no more public comments? Okay, we'll now close public comments. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I think I should get a hold of it.
I'll motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor? Meeting adjourned, 8:21.